because I have to go over this before I go to sleep. So according to Ken L. Wheeler's material in his book Missing Secrets of Magnetism, there are 7 variables that influence, actually, that determine mass, gravity, that determine whether or not you're being pulled down to the ground, what goes up, what goes down, what floats around. There are 7 variables which determine that, and which we must take into account when we if we are to engineer certain flotation devices. We must take into account these 7 variables. So we must note that gravity, as we call it, is not an autonomous force. Gravity is not an autonomous is not a thing in and of itself, as any physicist knows. Any conventional physicist will tell you, if you really ask them, what is gravity actually, they will most likely say, well, it's an acceleration. They would not speak of it as a force or as an entity in and of itself, because it's not. It actually consists of these 7 variables here. 7 variables that influence, determine weight / mass gravity. So the first one is the medium. So like me sitting here on my chair, it would be very difficult to move me just sitting on this chair. But if you would put me in the water, then I would be more easier to move around. And the second one is vector, so angle of approach. We know that by NASA looking at how the satellites go around the Earth. The vector angle of approach, that also changes the mass gravity. And the third one is location. So if you were to instantly change my location from sitting here to 400 kilometers up there, if you were to change my location to there, the degree to which I would be pulled down by gravity would change instantly as well. Another one is magnitude. That one is a little bit more difficult to explain, but Ken here calls this one magnitude. The way he explains it is the geometries of acceleration, or the acceleration vectors, which he let me show you how he kind of depicted that one. It's like if you have mass 1, if you have let's see here, mass 1 and mass 2 up there, then the acceleration vectors, it looks like so. So that is what we are referring to as the magnitude. But if you put mass 2 to there, then you see the acceleration vectors, they change. They become much the angle changes, the wideness or the changes. So that's what he means by the geometries of acceleration / acceleration vectors. And the 5th variable here, which influences mass gravity, is phase. Since everything is electrical, that involves the right-hand rule of electromagnetism. And so there are 2 more. So there should be 2 more. So 6 and 7. Okay, 6 and 7, and I put a question mark there because Ken will not tell us what those variables are. I think he's told us what number 6 is, but he hasn't told us what the 7th variable is. But I have a I have a hunch, so to speak, a hint. I have a feeling, a hunch as to what the 6th or perhaps the 7th variable, which he is keeping to himself, may be. So I think it could be one of two things, as as far as I can conceptualize right now. Either it is one, or or a combination of both of these things here. So the ambient pressure of the medium. So right now we have, we're in the atmosphere. It has a certain pressure. This will also influence the gravity. Like if you would go into a giant vacuum chamber, like the ones that they use to train astronauts in, for them to experience a complete vacuum. Of course, you have to be in a spacesuit or a special suit when you're in there. As soon as you take all the air out, I bet you $1 million there will be a change in the like when you move around, and there will be a change in the gravity as well. Like if you put like a 5 kg bucket of water on a scale in that room, in that vacuum chamber, while the air pressure is pressurized to a normal atmosphere, and that weighs 10 kgs, is if you instantaneously remove all of the air from that environment, I bet you $1 million that what the numbers that are being registered on that scale will change. So that is something that may be related to the 7th variable here, would be the ambient pressure of the medium, and potentially the 6th or the 7th. I have a very strong feeling it could be related to this right here. So you would need to have some idea about electrical engineering to know about this. This is the dielectric permittivity of the medium. So here the air has a certain dielectric permittivity, and dielectric permittivity is something you need to be very, very knowledgeable of if you're building capacitors, electrolytic capacitors. And it has a very strong. It's very strongly tied to the. It's very strongly related to electromagnetic retardation. So according to Kenel Wheeler, actually according to Oleg D. Jeffermenko, what we call general relativity. When we experience inertia, that is actually very strongly related to, or possibly even entirely the result of electromagnetic retardation going through our body, and that is what is causing those clocks, or those electrons which are flowing through the wires and those satellites up there, to slow down, and the so-called time to slow down, and the time up there to the time down here for there to be a time dilation. That is actually because of electromagnetic retardation, not because of what they're telling us in special relativity. They're saying that space and time expand and contract. No, it's just very simple electromagnetic, or it can be explained in terms of electromagnetic retardation as well, which Oleg D. Jeffermenko points out in his book. I think it's called Relativity and Special Relativity, or no, just Relativity and Electromagnetic Retardation, something like that. He explains that very clearly. So there you go. The main point in this that I would like to make in this video is that I have a very strong hunch that the dielectric permittivity of the medium, and perhaps or the ambient pressure of the medium, whether that is the air down here or whatever medium we're dealing with up out there in space, which would also have a certain dielectric permittivity and would very much would come into our equations, when we are engineering these these craft here. So this is the top portion of my craft, which I am building, and of course I will require this tin foil here. It will go around to make the larger electrode of. Some people incorrectly call this an asymmetric capacitor lifter. This one here has a much more interesting geometry to make it more stable. So yeah, that is that for today. But yeah, the dielectric permittivity of the medium is one of these very important factors which comes into play when we if we're engineering stuff that is going to float in the air, levitate, get us out into space. We must understand the medium, which involves the ambient pressure and the dielectric permittivity of the medium, vector, location, magnitude. Oh, there's another one which you missed, and I just remembered it. It is actually, it's the sixth one, and it is displacement. So there we go. Number 6 is displacement, and then number 7 is perhaps what I'm thinking here, related to the ambient pressure and or the dielectric permittivity of the respective medium. Yeah, that is my video for today. I believe that is all that I was thinking of. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please consider to like, share, and subscribe. And also, I'll put a link down here to the Facebook group, which is Countdown to Disclosure. Also, there's a Danish language group which is called Magnetism in the state of Denmark. So thank you very much for watching, wonderful people, and have a great night, or a great morning, or day, or yeah, whatever time it is for you.